All right, we're about 40 seconds to the league and everyone's trapped in the coast. You already know it's going to be good. I've never leveled as a ranger before, but this is actually pretty fun. I kind of get it now, you know? I feel like most skills you use are just like really painful at the very beginning. You know, they're too slow. You get perma-stunned. You don't have any mana. It's kind of isn't that bad. Really? Can you really do it actually 5 minutes in? That's awesome, dude. That's crazy. No way. This is sick, actually. This is so cool. At least assuming I understand what's happening. I think I click on one of these guys, and then if I win the fight, I just get these boots. No? Oh my goodness, great. Okay, never mind. It seems that Rakiat is a bit too OP to fight at level 5. My fault, my fault. Yo, my stash is cooked. What happened? Actually huge? Holy. Yeah, this build feels quite good so far. However, I did get insanely lucky with that ring, so I don't know if this is normally how leveling with Ranger feels. Can't lie, Alira's is too goated. I feel like I never actually have a character, like 99% of my characters just use Alira at the beginning because it's good, and then just never switch. Because, like, I would spend one passive point and plus 15 all res, to be honest. Big money, no whammies. Heckling Lance, carrying Golem, fighting Golem. Oh, these all seem quite bad. All right, so for those of you that were following from the original video, I actually kind of changed my mind. I said I was going to level Absolution and then go to Soul Rest later. I actually think this is kind of insane for leveling. I saw some like old threads talking about like, oh, this is like the crazy leveling tech. So I'm going to try it out. So I'm going to take these two. I'm going to switch to a Storm Prism and I'm going to see if crit wolves can just carry me through everything. So using my build after the first Ascendancy, I've got my Storm Prison here. I got Power Siphon. I got increased critical strikes. The goal is that I can just run around and just hold down right click and I'll get a bunch of wolves and they'll just go and tear things apart. Um, it's working okay. The wolves are kind of slower than expected. They do a ton of damage. You know, they kind of destroy everything they touch, but it's a little slow. I think the next thing is that I definitely got to get some reservation efficiency so I can drop. I'm currently running Flesh and Stone because I didn't have enough res efficiency. And I can drop, or sorry, I can run haste instead. I think the haste is probably going to help a lot, especially just with, you know, clearing the campaign. Okay. Boss DPS check. Oh, dang. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I threw in automation and convocation, and it does feel like a little bit better, but I don't know. I don't know. It feels worse compared to, I'm kind of used to the old way. If you guys remember in Settlers League, there was that leveling tech where you put summon wolves on kill, I think, on a wand. And then that one you could actually you could put support gems in the wolves. And I think that's really all they're missing. You know, if they had any sort of like melee splash or like a little bit more speed from like minion speed support, they'd be kind of nuts. But I mean, right now they're just kind of really good at single target, which I guess is all you really need for just the campaign because clear isn't that important, you know? You just gotta like get to the big boss and kill it really fast. So I don't really have anything to complain about, to be honest. Okay, I'm now realizing that it seems like the wolves just can't die or take damage. I'm not entirely sure, but usually that thing shreds every single minion. So also they're level 20, so maybe that makes a difference. All right, cool. So Act 5 done. I bet it took me like 4 hours, which I think is actually like really slow, but I don't tend to play this game very quickly, so it's pretty good for me. This is just something that's never been seen in the history of mankind. Prism Weave selling for 10 chaos. What are we doing? All right, finally locking in and making the Animate Guardian. I got Leaker Cast, Dying Breath, Xanadus Cassock, you know, the classics. I got like a 2 chaos pair of gloves that has cursed enemies with Bomb on hit. I think my AG can wear it. No, he actually can't wear it yet. Okay, I'll have to level him up a bit before putting that on. I also got a hold of Soul Rest and then got 5 sockets on it, but don't know if I'm ready to switch yet. But yeah, the Zoo Master is feeling bit more zooey now, you know? I got all the wolves, I got zombies, I got a golem. I threw in a holy relic because I forgot that it got buffed and it actually just procs every time I power siphon. So gives a ton of health regen for me and the minions. Clear has definitely fallen off. So it was like survivability, to be honest. But the clear's fallen off because, you know, you can't put any sockets, or sorry, you can't socket any support gems in the wolves. So it's kind of tragic. So soon I'll need to swap the soul rest. I just didn't want to deal with all of the, just switching around all the gems and like all of the socket links and stuff because I just don't have any currency. So I thought it'd be kind of annoying. Okay, I went ahead and bit the bullet and decided to respec into Soul Rest, and it actually is pretty insane. I mean, Clear's way better. Issue is I don't have a movement skill, so even though the Clear is way better, I'm probably still progressing through the campaign at a slower pace. But I can also just get rid of zombies. I mean, the zombies aren't doing anything at this moment. They're still really bad, so I don't even think it's worth running them. So I'll probably still like Frost Blinken or like Leap Slam, and maybe it will feel way better. I also still have a useless ascendancy point because I don't have enough money to respec. I have like 4K gold, so I got to for that. But I mean, build is looking up a little bit. Perfect. All right, big money. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. What are we doing, man? What is that? My toes are out. Holy. Okay, I'm out of maps now, so I think I can go put that shit on. I don't have that many cosmetics, but I feel like the one that's kind of flavorful is putting on this Autumn Night set. So here's the build so far. Just got freshly into maps. I've done one singular map. The resistances are really bad. I gotta spend some chaos to fix that because that's crazy. But theoretically, the defenses of this build are pretty good at the current state with Soul Rest, just because like you can get a ton of attack and block. Sorry, attack and spell block on the tree, and you can also get the 100 spell suppress off of the ascendancy. So it should be tanky. I did get one shot by like an Act 10 just campaign boss, so I don't even know. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean it's theoretically tanky. We'll see if it actually feels that good. All right, here's the passive tree. Nothing of note or interesting to look at. It's just the thing that I sent in the comment section of the last video. And then for my Atlas passives, I think I'm just going to go and just gun it straight for all the breach nodes. Because from my understanding, basically everyone in the league is playing either, or just starting at least, they're starting with Animate Weapon of Ranged Arms, which has the, there's those breach swords. I'm blanking on the names of them currently. I think it's like, no, I don't know. But they're super common from the breach fortresses, and you could kind of just like run in and just open the chest and even just leave if you want. But I really want to farm specifically for the womb gifts, like specifically ancient womb gifts, because I know a ton of people are playing kinetic fusillade totems, and I don't know anything about that build, to be honest. I didn't do that much research, but I saw that a lot of people are gunning it for that one like Rain of Splinters jewel. And what you can do is that you can farm a bunch of ancient womb gifts, and then you can take the passes in the tree that make it less likely to get womb gifts that, or sorry, get any uniques that have any attribute requirements. So if you have 0 attribute requirements, it'll automatically lean towards like jewelry, and it'll lead towards jewels. And I think it should be like a decently common jewel. I have no idea. But I also need a bunch of like Foulborn jewels, or there's a lot of Foulborn jewels that I'd like to try out, as well as for the later versions of build, it runs like a ton of Foulborn items, like the Foulborn Badge of the Brotherhood and Malagaro's Loop. So I think I'm just gonna go Breach. I don't know what else I'll go alongside Breach. I probably am gonna go Delving again when the league gets like a weekend or so and people are like really crafting, because I think fossils are going to be worth a ton. And that's all the direction I'm going in right now. But after this, I'll show some mapping content of just how the build feels at the moment. Obviously, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm actually sharing the charges, so it's not anything special, but yeah. Oh, don't mind me, a casual coin of knowledge on day one. Hey, yo, chill. What I say? What I say? There it is. I don't know if that's a good one. It might not be a good one, but hopefully it's worth like a divine or two. Fingers crossed. Actually, I got some time right now. Why don't I check? This is separate and sleep. Separate and sleep. See, holy might. Can I sort? Foul boring. Yes. This is the wrong one. Oh yeah. See, this is like 3 divines. Come on. Don't act like it's not printing out money. This is just me mapping and thinking. I just realized I played PoE 2 for a bit. You know, I just want to get those challenges done because like, I thought the armor set looked kind of cool. And I'm realizing I kind of forgot about the aspect where you have to like pay attention to map mods in this game. Because in that game, you know, all the map mods are so toned down it doesn't even really matter what you're doing, you know? Like you're rarely gonna find a mod. At least I never found a mod that really bricked my whole build because all of them are just like, oh, it makes your day like slightly more inconvenient, you know? Stuff like that. So I'm realizing how insane acrobatics is now because I forgot about the map mod you could roll that says minus 10% to spell damage prevented. And like, I guess there is no mod that says like minus chance to dodge spells, you know? People are, acrobatics isn't like that OP that they have to nerf it. Not like there's, you know, reduced chance to block that exists, which will brick some builds. So I really think acrobatics is just looking better every day for some reason. I thought I was kind of map and just kind of talk about the build right now, you know, the state of things and where I want to go in the future. Obviously, at the moment, you know, the build is a different build entirely. I'm just playing like a default soul rest build with just some like random uniques I cobbled together. But I mean, I really think it's really cozy, honestly. Like, because most of the time, you know, I feel like you're playing on League Start and you're worried about like, oh, dude, like to get my big damage, you know, I gotta get like a 6 link, you know, just things of that nature. You know, I gotta find like a weapon with high DPS. Obviously not a problem for minion builds, but you know, usually the 6 link is like really huge for minion builds. Um, Obviously this weapon, you don't need it. You get a 7 link for free, and you just have to have enough jeweler's orbs to get 6 sockets in it, which is awesome. You also don't need to worry about stacking minion levels. You know, 90% of the time, you're worried about like, oh, how can I get +1 minion levels on like my helmet or like my wand or something. With this build, that's not a problem, and you literally could just run whatever. You know, I'm running Skullhead, which is like a bit of a meme helmet, but I mean, it gives me all res and it makes my minions tankier, so it's pretty good right now. You know, like if I need more defenses, I could just also replace it with whatever. Speaking of defenses, this build does not feel as tanky as I thought it would. Like for some, I guess I just thought it would be, especially for, you know, yellow maps. I thought I would be pretty immortal. I'm running around with Oh, let me start this up and then I can just like wait in the middle of it. I'm running around with, let's see. So I have basically no armor evasion rating. I mean, really, it's getting inflated from like Ruby's concoction and my my Pantheon notables. But, you know, I have like all res capped, obviously, you know, actually like super over capped, which is kind of crazy. I have positive chaos res. I've got 72, 71 block with my roomies up. Without it up, it's like, you know, 60 something just from those like staff nodes on the tree. And I have 100% chance to suppress with like a nerf version suppression. But even like sometimes I was walking around and like random like rares or like, you know, like goat men or like those skeletons will make my health bar like jump up and down. I'm like, what's going on? I have like 700 health regen. Like, no way I'm getting pieced up in yellow maps. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe either the game is no joke or like it's just like a little harder than I thought. I assume that like, you know, if you have like maxed out resistances and like positive chaos res and like maybe some defenses of some sort, you should be able to live until maybe like red maps. And then red maps kind of like hard check you of like are your defenses layered? And at that point you kind of get screwed. But like I'm getting cooked more than I thought I would. But besides that, I got my specters here. I've actually found some cool like cheap alternatives, I mean, obviously I've got the classic default forest warrior. Never buy the perfect forest warrior. Default forest warrior gives you onslaught. You can see it right here. I got a pain artist. No one ever uses this guy, and he's like really cheap all the time. He gives everyone 30% extra crit multi and also cast zealotry, which is really awesome for phantasms because if you didn't know, because I didn't know this, I had to look this up a second ago. Summoned phantasms cast a spell. I thought it was like an attack. I thought it was like a projectile attack, but it's a projectile spell that like splits. So it's modified by any sort of spell thing. So the zealotry is giving them somewhere between like 25 and 30 more damage, which is really cool. Other than that, I got the classic AG. He doesn't even have boots on. He just has like a Leer cast, the Dying Breath, and that's all he needs. Oh, and he has those gloves I talked about before with like vulnerability. Um, Standard golems, got Tailwind. This build is super fast, and it's gonna get way faster. This is with no Quicksilver, by the way. When I get Quicksilver up and actually like optimized, then it's gonna be even faster. And then when I get Dark Ray vectors with like 10 frenzy charges, it's gonna be the craziest heist runner ever. That's probably where the direction of the build is going, because I don't think zombies are gonna do a ton of damage. So I think I'm gonna pivot to like just farming a bunch of heist stuff just from like taking out the heist nodes and then just like heist running all day, because I'm gonna get like a crazy amount of bonus movement speed. I don't know what my movement speed modifier is currently or how to check it. It's probably like over here. Nope. Oh, okay. Plus 12. Wow, that's really awesome. Sorry. Whoa. Action speed modifier. Plus 128. Like, no buffs. Somehow went down when I use a Quicksilver Flask. Man, I look at the wrong thing. 168. Okay, yeah. I don't know. All I have to say, this build is really fast. It's clearing really well. A little less tanky than I thought it'd be, but at some point we're gonna get like 10 endurance charges, and surely at that point it'll be tanky, right? Um, but yeah, this is day one. I gotta get off this game because I've been playing all day. Did I say that already? I don't even know. I am like geeked, but yeah. See you in the next one. Hopefully, I can get a hold of a Devourer Minds and a Badge of the Brotherhood, and I can start playing the real build.